it has grown from just a little patch of houses on the point of the mountain to this, well, maturing city. Even though it's matured with businesses and outlet malls and lots of restaurants, and as well as large businesses, our neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods still feel like hometown neighborhoods with kids riding their bikes in the street and people walking their dog or just walking with their kids and their dog up and down the sidewalk.
So we're on our way to one of Jana's family members' baseball games. They live in Lehi, and so we're going down to check out the baseball game and asking a few questions about what it's like to live in Lehi, what are our favorite things about Lehi. While we're on our drive, we thought we might as well cover some cool facts and some general information about Lehi.
Excuse the fact that I'm not looking at the camera, it's just because I'm driving and I want to be safe, but...
Babe, respect our audience. Look them in the eye.
So I was just going to talk about where exactly is Lehi for those of you that are from out of state. So Lehi is the most north city of Utah County, and it encompasses both the east and the west side of the 15 freeway. So the 15 freeway kind of runs straight through the middle of the city.
So real fast,
yeah.
The I-15 is kind of like the spine of all of Utah. You can get everywhere in Utah from the 15, all the way from the southern point of the state all the way to the north, and everything kind of revolves around the 15. But
yeah, and there's parts of Lehi that aren't necessarily the hustle and bustle. So Timpanogos Highway is like one of the first main freeway exits, and we actually live in Lehi as well as some other family, and we live right off of Timpanogos Highway, and super close to Silicon Slopes and all of that. And so we live right off of that main highway, but still in our neighborhood there's kids that run around all day. They're outside, they're playing with water guns, they're playing on scooters. So it's not necessarily like the downtown Salt Lake City, like the kind of city vibe that you would get, but it's definitely more fast-paced than some of the surrounding cities.
So Lehi is actually like a really fast-growing city in Utah. It's probably one of the tops. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of new people moving in, and there's, I don't know, you could just say like a lot of, what we've really liked is there's not a lot of cliques that have developed already. So we feel like it's kind of like everyone's kind of starting out, and that's one of the things that we have liked about it is the community, and just kind of being able to fresh start with the neighborhood and friends.
How close like shopping is, and how close there's several restaurants that are nearby, and also like being kind of in the middle. We're close to Salt Lake, and we're close to Orem and Provo.
The great thing with Lehi is it has a ton of space and a lot of new buildings being built, constantly a lot of growth happening, as well as the convenience and location, a little more centralized.
Yeah. It's kind of the Silicon Slopes area, right? And everyone's somewhere close to Lehi, so it's between the Salt Lake area and the Provo area. This is like central, so we've had a lot more success hiring people here. We have food places.
Yeah.
We didn't have food places in Bluffdale.
Right, which is important when you have 100 people working for you, that they have places they can go and eat and not have to drive real far and feel like they have to go home and things like that.
Yeah, I think other things we like about Lehi are access to bike trails, jogging trails.
The other access that we have is we're really close to the American Fork Canyon, which has a lot of hiking trails. It has Double Fork Reservoir. It has and we're close to Utah Lake. Really close where we live is the Murdoch Trail, which a lot of people will run and bike on. We've gone biking on it. We can go to the Jordan River Trail, which can take us all the way up to Salt Lake and further south down towards the Provo area. And we could also take the Murdoch Trail up into Provo, which will take us to the Provo Canyon as well, all within a short distance, and it's safe to ride there. You don't have all the traffic either.
There's a lot of recreational things to do close by. They have reservoirs close by. We've done some canoeing down the Provo River. Obviously the winter you got the mountains close by to go skiing or snowboarding. If you like lake activities, they got reservoirs and lakes close by. So there's a huge variety of things to do.
So the Traverse Outlets is really cool. We like to come here with our dog because it's outside, so we can bring her. And then like they do cool stuff. Like at Christmas time, they have Santa. You can go
Giant
sit
Christmas
on
tree.
Santa's lap, and yeah, there's a giant Christmas tree. So it's really popular in the holidays as well.
So I've been talking a lot about sort of this explosion of growth in Lehi. So in the year 2000, the population of Lehi City was 20,000 people. By 2010, that had doubled to 40,000, and now today we're sitting at around 70,000 people just in Lehi. And that number is obviously continuing to grow. As we've been alluding to this whole time, it's because of the big tech hub right there in Lehi. Tons of people are moving in for jobs.
So Lehi, and why we've really, one of the big reasons why we chose it is because of the amount of buildings being built, which what that does is give us the ability to take and get into a space that was already turnkey, ready to go.
We also have the track system right behind us that drops right off. So that was a huge, so we have people take it down from Ogden, Syracuse, West Valley, so having, and Provo area. So it's literally like right in our backyard.
Yeah.
So that's been nice and convenient to have too, because people don't want to drive that far,
Right.
but
Yeah.
but
That's sweet.
they love the job and they love the area. So Lehi's been great. We like it here.
Lehi Bakery is a family-owned bakery. Everything is made from scratch. I've worked here since 2000, so I've been here a long time.
Yeah. And how long has this place been?
Since 1968. Lehi is a great place to live. When I first moved here, there was farmland and country and cows and horses and really different. So I've seen a lot of changes over the years. But you still have the small hometown feel to Lehi.
Yeah.
So Lehi is a fun place to live.
So regarding the schools in Lehi, because I know a lot of families that are moving here, they're curious about the schools from high school to elementary school. So everything in Lehi is in the Alpine School District, and there's 2 high schools, Sky Ridge and Lehi High School, 2 middle schools or junior highs, and then 6 elementary schools.
And what's really cool about the schools here in Lehi, because of all the growth that's happening, a lot of the schools you'll find are going to be brand new or getting major updates because of the influx of tax dollars coming into the system. So the schools are they're even having to build new schools or improve and make the existing schools bigger to handle all the new kids coming into the system. So a lot of nice schools and a lot of nice facilities, really. So that's a definite plus to the educational system here in Lehi.
So we've actually, when we first moved in the area, we had our youngest went to a school in Saratoga Springs, elementary school, and we weren't real happy with that. And we've been real pleased with where he's at now. He's in a Lehi school. I don't know if it would just happen to be that particular school. But overall, I've heard it's...
I think he's okay, babe.
It's good. They're pretty good, I think, from what I've heard from others. So.
Our youngest just graduated from high school, so we really don't, and since we just moved here, we don't really have a lot of experience with the schools, but just running around in the neighborhood and driving around the neighborhood, there's a lot of newer schools with great technology, and it doesn't look run down because of the newness of the schools. It kind of flows in with the newer neighborhoods as well, and even some of the older high schools they've been putting work into them and making them brand new and updating them as well.
And we saw a lot of community support for our teachers and the students in Lehi, above and beyond what I expected during this COVID-19 season.
So in Utah, the big healthcare providers, as you'll come to see, or if you already live here, as you know, is IHC and the University of Utah healthcare system. Lehi is different, at least for now, in that the hospital here in Lehi is called Mountain Point Medical Center, and it's actually owned and ran by a company that owns a few hospitals nationwide, as opposed to IHC is more of a Western group, and University of Utah Healthcare is obviously pretty localized just to Utah, but definitely a tip-top healthcare all around. And the Mountain Point Medical Center's well-run hospital.
The other thing I like about the University of Utah healthcare system is I actually work up at the main hospital in Salt Lake City, and they, coming from a perspective of an employee, I can see how much they care for their patients, and they really have, they've put a lot of aids to help the nurses, so I feel like they get more attention. As we've been through several hospitals before, and you'll put on a call light and you'll wait 30-40 minutes before you get the attention of a nurse, because they are busy, but the University of Utah, they have so many aides that usually the call lights only go off for maybe a couple of minutes, and then if they need to go on to the nurse.
California definitely, from what we've heard, is quite an improvement. There's a lot of positive about the hospitals. We haven't ever been to the hospital, or I think we've been to like a doctor's facility once, but had a great experience there, and so I have heard good things about the hospitals.